Hello, my fellow comic book collectors. This video is going to be featuring one of my grails. This is a book I have really loved for a long time and wanted for a really long time and just never could afford. And because of my recent circumstances last year where I was mortgage free for the first time and I now have kind of more money to play with in terms of buying my comics, I was able to finally afford this one. But at the same time, it was still really expensive. And if you're not familiar with this book, you really should be. It is a major grail. It's a Bronze Age grail. It's a Hulk 181, first full appearance of Wolverine. Now, this is a book which has a bit of controversy because is it really the first full appearance of Wolverine? I would debate maybe the 180 is actually the first full appearance, but we'll go with this being the first full appearance. So this book, like actually, I almost want to take it out of the bag just to give you a better view of it, just so you can see. It's a really beautiful copy, actually. Just just so the colors are just really nice. Um, but there's a flaw. It's a 4.5, and it is a blue, and not a blue label, it's a purple label. And the question is, did I overpay? I got this at a good deal, but did I overpay? Because it is restored, it doesn't have as much value as that blue label. So I'll read you the notes to this restoration. Restoration includes cover reattached with glue and tear seal to cover. Now that's what's considered a very slight restoration. You can actually have it where you can remove that glue and actually revert this back to a blue label, where you could just remove the glue and it'd probably get a 2, because once that cover's detached, it loses like a few grades actually. So with that being said, did I overpay? So I'll tell you how much I paid for this comic. I paid $1,235. Now, let's look at the census and see what the fair market value is for this book. And we'll go to Go Collect, and we'll see, okay, so you can see, if it's a high grade, it can go for up to $43,000. This is a purple label, but it's a 4.5, and it would sell for in a blue label for $22.50. So right here, $22.50. So now what does that translate for restored? Now I said if I had sold, like if I removed that glue that's basically making it restored, probably I could get 1,400 for it as a 2.0. Okay, so even if you think of it that way, this could be a book that you could salvage. Like let's say the restoration really kills the price. Well, unrestoring it, like making it like not restored, you could actually get your money back. So removing that restoration, removing the glue, which is pretty easy to do, would revert the price. It would reduce the grade to maybe a 2 or 2.5, but still would be worth about $1,400. And with that said, I paid, as I said, $1,235. So I would have underpaid by about 200 just on the restoration. Okay, so let's calculate based on leaving it as a restored comic. So let's go over here. This is Silver Age, just so you know, it's like Silver Age impacts on the value. Bronze Age is similar, so I'm just going to be using bronze and silver as being the same. When we look at like a 4.0, when it's slight restoration, it reduces the value of the price by by it's 70% of the value. So if we take what was it, 2250, and we times that by 0.7, I got a little calculator I'm doing this with, we get 1575. So if you look, Here's the cool thing about this. The restored value is actually higher than the unrestored potential for this book. Because if I could get 575, 1575, which would be, right about in here, if I leave it restored versus if I remove the restoration, I get maybe 1400. So it's actually in this case better to leave it as restored. And in both cases, I have actually come out on top on this book where I actually got a good price. So this is kind of one of those interesting examples where sometimes it's better to leave the book restored than it is to try to, remove that restoration and get that blue label. So sometimes you got to make that decision whether or not it's better to leave it restored at that higher grade or to remove the restoration, get the lower grade, but get that blue label. So in this case, I would say leave it restored because it's got that higher label and it's worth more in that restored version. So I hope this has been interesting. I try to bring different insights with each video that I'm doing on this series. And I hope that this gives you some new insights into buying restored versus buying blue labels. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Uh, check out my other videos on this topic, and I'm going to post some more in the days ahead. So thanks for watching. Bye for now.